Hello and welcome back to the Masonic Roundtable, a weekly program where Masons from around the world get together to talk about Masonic news and opinions in a friendly and social manner. As a reminder, the thoughts and opinions expressed here are solely the opinions of the participants and do not represent any Grand Lodge statements or positions. Make sure you keep your conversations open for the public and on the level. To interact with us, we love seeing you live every Thursday night on Facebook and YouTube. These are always fun. Chats are always fun. And remember, your chat may show up in the show. So watch out for that. And as always, if you can't catch us live, catch us on the replay or in your favorite podcasting app. You know me. My name is John Ruark. I'm a past master of the Patriot Lodge, number 1957 in Fairfax, Virginia. Next up, we have Robert No Dice Johnson. Hey, Robert. How's it going?
It is going wonderful. Glad to be back and talking about something tonight that is really exciting because I get to learn and ask questions. And yep. So anyway, Robert Johnson, past master of Waukegan 78, and also the premier Masonic Education Lodge in the state of Illinois, Space Novum 1183, where I am a perpetual secretary of both. Which is a great honor. I'm not complaining.
Mazel tov. Awesome. Next up, still worshipful, Joe Martinez. How's it going, Joe?
Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Hello and good evening. Let's see. Joe Martinez, still worshipful master of Manassas Lodge, number 182 in Manassas, Virginia, and member of Things and Stuff. And I will not be the perpetual worshipful master, and I will not be happy about it. So. But that I'm super jazzed to be here.
Sounds like a threat.
Or a promise.
Or a promise. What? That's like something like my dad would used to say back like 100 years ago. It's not a threat, that's a promise. All right. And special guest for tonight, we have brother, past master, Joe Creamer. Hello and good evening. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
It's great to have you on here. What lodge are you with?
A past master out of Corinthian Lodge number 93 in Towson, Maryland.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Well, awesome. Well, before we get into tonight's topic, let's give a special shout out to the patrons who support the show. Head over to patreon.com/the Masonic Roundtable and keep this free Masonic education online for quite a long time. So we appreciate everything you got. So this is amazing.
15 years, baby. 15 years left. Let's do it.
Yes. Yeah, no pressure, but 2040, it's a fixed target.
Listen, if this podcast continues to have such a awesome base of listeners who contribute, it is possible that we could single-handedly save Masonry.
Yes, no pressure.
We could have like a lodge, just one.
Masonic
Roundtable Lodge. Number 2040.
Yeah. There you go.
And it's just like us and the patrons. I'm just saying.
If we're still here doing this, we'll be in the target demographic for Freemasonry in 2040. So like late 50s, early 60s.
We'll just be hitting our stride.
We'll be the median age, so we'll be good. Yeah, I love it.
Funny stuff. All right. Well, then let's move on to our next topic, which is always nice. Let's see what we got here. So I'm actually going to pull from one of my first decks, and that is the 8-bit tarot. That's right. Your classic Rider-Waite Smith system, but in a Commodore 64/NES type view. So let's see what we got here. Do a quick shuffle. And let's see what kind of pixelated awesomeness we get tonight. We get... Ooh, this is a good one. Let's see if we can focus. Focus!
I feel like I have cataracts.
Yeah, there we go. 10 of Pentacles. Look at that.
All right.
Hold on, it's 8-bit glory.
I don't know. That one's like kind of counterintuitive for me. Listen, Spirit Halloween just released an NES cartridge game.
I saw that.
And I bought 2 of them. And so while this card might represent financial security, it does not represent what I just did. I made
Not when you go
financial decision.
not when you go to Spirit Halloween.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's like long-term success. This is awesome. This is cool.
Yeah, it's the fruit of your labor. It's the material wealth, but also, yeah, like you said, abundance, hard work, all that jazz. So.
Not blowing your paycheck at Spirit Halloween.
Not doing it. So
Okay.
Or like,
here we go, and reverse for Robert. There we go.
there you go. That's a Spirit Halloween, or the what's the other one? The Five Below card. You know, it's like, why are you going to Five Below? There's no reason to go to Five Below.
There's always a reason to go to Five Below.
No.
Okay, and that is charge cords. Okay, we all have kids.
Yeah, that's true.
But they only last a week.
It's true.
So you're buying.
So you're always going back.
You're always going back.
Yeah.
It's like buying one thing at Target.
And Spirit Halloween
It's
has
impossible.
already opened a store down the street from me, in the midst of August. So, like, basically, I get to shop for the rest of my year for the next 3 months. Right? It's just the whole decor of my house. It's Halloween all the time.
I dig that.
Just saying.
Anyway,
Moving along to tonight's topic, which is full of material wealth and abundance. We're talking about gaming. So, first thing we think of when we think of gaming Masons, right? We're all into video games, which is certainly covers it all. But wait, there's more, because pretty much if you ask any person really, but even especially a Mason, like, are you a gamer? The first response might be, well, not really, depending on who you talk to. But then if you follow up with, have you ever played cards, right? Do you ever play bridge, right? Do you ever play poker with your buddies? That is gaming as well. So, so Brother Creamer here and a couple of his buddies got together and said, well, why don't we take gaming and take Masonry and take it to the next level? And so tonight we're going to talk about the Operative Gaming Society, how it got started, where it is today, and what the future of this unique Masonic club could offer to the future Freemasonry. So, Brother Creamer, let's start at the beginning. Like, what inspired this idea to have some sort of Masonic gaming club?
Well, you guys hit it. You're setting me up like 3 different ways. So the first is that I like to game. I like to play D&D, and I like to play video games, a few other games in there too. And I could never quite find people to play with. And I knew they were out there. And I said to myself, man, I'm part of the largest fraternity in the world. I got to find some teammates to play with. Now, I can go hook up with random people on the internet, but what's the fun in that, you know? And I said,
right.
I said, I know there are Masons out there that play my games, and I just don't have I don't know how to find who they are. And so I knew that I wanted to do something with gaming on a small scale at least. And then so meanwhile, I'm going to the annual communication year after year, and I'm watching our Masonic membership numbers on the decline. And I said, and I eventually I started to take that personally. And I said, all right, well, we gotta
right.
do drastic changes. And how do we make drastic changes to an ancient fraternity that has very set landmarks? And and I said, all right, well, I need some guys to run a Destiny raid with, and I can't find them. And also, we're our membership's going down, so let's try something new, try something drastic. And I put together a PowerPoint, and I put a lot of thought into it. I have a few people that really helped me, my wife Melanie and Brother Gary Norman, both very passionate about the project, and so I put together like a 14-slide PowerPoint, took it to then Deputy Grandmaster Randy Watson of Maryland, and I pitched it to him, and he went for it, and so flash forward a year.
So what was in that PowerPoint? That's what I want to know. Like, what's in general? Like, what was the scope? Were you just trying to do a sales pitch of the idea? Were you trying to like get Grand Lodge sponsorship? What was the intent?
So bottom line, I wanted a gamer club that was endorsed by the Grand Lodge. And I didn't, you know, if we had like a gamer lodge, that would be great. But there's a lot of hoops for that, right? So I said, let's just make a club. Sort of the model I had in my head was the Widow's Sons. They're a club, an affiliated club, but they're not. It's just their membership requires Masonic membership as well, and I really liked that sort of model. Now, the pitch I made to the Grand Master was for an open gaming club, and the reason is that we want to give potential members a way to sort of dip their toe and a way to meet Masons and play with Masons and hang out in a casual way and a fun way, and see sort of the best side of Masonry, and so the club is open to everyone, men, women, kids, anybody that wants to be a part of it, and we're hoping that, you know, as you're out there playing with your friends, then you say, well, there's a gaming event for the Masons. Why don't you guys come and join us for that? And so on. So, and I think that's a pretty sound approach, but I think it's still a little too early to see how successful it's going to be, unfortunately. So, but I'm staying with it, and we're gonna figure that out. So that's a little bit behind the curtain. I'm always.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, recruiting in the back of my head, you know. So
I always find that fascinating. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Number one, the idea of having it open is something that is, you know, win-win for everybody involved. I mean, yeah. Could you say like, oh, you're just marketing, or like it's a ploy to get dudes to show up and maybe want to be inquisitive? But not really, right? I mean, this is an idea to bring people together and foster fellowship and brotherhood by doing something that's fun together. And hey, I mean, if somebody brings a friend for game night and they're like, these guys are pretty cool, like, what, you know, that's a win-win. I love that. I mean, it's not dissimilar from some other things that we've seen in the past, whether they're, you know, I did see a rise in something like Blue Lounge Social Club, kind of a plateau, and I've not seen a lot from them recently, but I think it's also because, you know, it takes people to carry on those things. So stoked to hear that, you know, you just are going to keep the momentum going. You know, the consistency is so key there, because we've talked about it in the past, right? Like, if you do something and you make it the standard, you know, the newer guys are going to continue moving it along well after, let's say, you retire. You know what I mean? So this is really cool, man. Nice job.
Yeah, no, I was just going to latch on to that. And sorry, Joe.
No.
I was just going to say, I kind of love the way you described it, because I mean, well, to Robert's point, I mean, bringing a friend to dinner before the stated could be considered marketing, right? You know, because you're bringing them, and it's like, oh, here's the guys, here's dinner, here's soggy green beans, food sucks, welcome to Masonry, you know. But when you were talking, I kind of found the opposite. It's like, hey, we're a bunch of Masons who want to find more people to do the things that we like to do. And that's already a thing that happens in Masonry a little bit, right? Like, we gravitate towards the people that dig Masonry the way we do, right? Like, we don't hang out with all 200 people.
Joe, we already have pancake breakfasts. Like, we that's good enough. Like, we don't need to go looking for other things to do with Masons. We've got pancake breakfast nailed down. All right, so we're done. We're done here.
If you want to see the same 5 people every Saturday, yes, then continue to have pancake breakfast. But I mean, I was just looking on your Facebook page as soon as you started talking about it, and like I said, I dig the vibe. It's like, we're looking for people who like the stuff that we like, and if you want to come along for the ride too, that's awesome, but it's not required. So I really like that.
Yep. And it's really, the goal really now is just, how do we link similar players with each other, and let them figure out what event are they going to do? Are they going to co-op? Are they going to create a team for Call of Duty or something, you know, and let them run with it. And we want to provide that platform where they can find each other and do those things. And we're into all the games. So video games, role-playing games, tabletop games, collectible card games, you name it. I throw Masonic games in there too, because I'm ambitious one day that I'm gonna create like a super mysterious multi-state scavenger hunt, like Masonic scavenger hunt or geocaching or something like that.
Yes.
In Maryland, we have the Traveling Gavel, which is not my game or an OGS game. It's been around for a long time, but it's the idea is that you have to get 5 of your lodge brothers and go visit the lodge that holds the gavel, and if you get 5 or more, then you can capture the gavel and it comes to your lodge and somebody has to visit your lodge. And I love that sort of concept of uniquely Masonic games, and I think that's a sort of an untapped resource as well for somebody that wants to develop something like that.
I've seen lodges in Virginia. Most of the districts here have the Traveling Gavel too, and it's done at a district level.
Yeah.
Don't get excited. I've seen the Traveling Gavel on like lodges shelves that have like 10 years of dust on them.
One day we're going to get this out.
Yeah. So
ours will heat up for a while, and then I won't hear about it for a couple of years, but I just saw it starting heating up again, so I'm hoping it does well. So.
Well, I think it's funny you mentioned geocaching, and I've been geocaching since I don't even know 2003 or so.
Cool.
And one of the things I had a brother that some of the guys know, Frodero, some guys might know. One day he surprised me and he sent me a couple of geo coins. Let's see if I could show these off.
Cool. Neat.
Illuminati.
Oh, yeah. Illuminati, yeah, right.
Yep. And then we've got our little serial number on the side there. So, the idea was to take these, right, and you put them inside the cache and follow it. And it was a lot of fun. But the one we did place, my son and I, with one of these in there, we had another blue one, and somebody stole it. It was a real bummer. They killed the cache. But, for a little while, there was a group Masonic geocachers, and I want to say they were on like the Scottish Rite Chirp app or something, and we had a coin, and I might have it somewhere, but it's on the wall somewhere. But it's really cool. I love the idea of that.
Yeah, we did do a game, sort of a pseudo Masonic game. My lodge challenged another lodge to a fundraising competition. And we just hyped it. Like we weren't raffling off anything. We were just like, guys, we gotta raise more money than the other team. And it was this opportunity to just develop lodge pride and a little bit of hype. And we had really friendly trash talk. The lodges visited back and forth, and we had the corniest trash talk. It was delicious. And it became this thing, and we made a few $100, but it was just money from nothing, just money from wanting to participate and be part of the team. So it was kind of cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm glad you've got the spectrum covered, right? So your vision for this thing is to have a platform that guys can come in with, no matter what avenue of gaming means to them. You want to be able to pair people up, right? So you're basically a matchmaking service in that sense, right? But for all the right reasons, right? Bros love to play with bros. I have had the same exact calling of like, man, wouldn't it be nice if when I have time to play a game at home alone or out with friends, get a couple of bros together that have similar interests, and we just we play any and all things. And one thing I did do before the show too was to kind of bring up some statistics, because that's what I do. And first thing is recent survey as of March 2025, distribution of video game users in the United States by age. And you can see that even 8% of video gamers are over 60 years old, according to this graph, with
yes.
The 26% being in the 30 to 40-year-old range.
Yeah.
Right? Which is square smack right in the middle of, the younger Mason demographic, right? So they're already playing games, especially video games in this context. So, like, again, it's one of those things. It seems like a no-brainer, and so while we're really happy to have you kind of lead this effort to like let's do something about it. Let's put the chocolate and the peanut butter together and make something even a little bit more special. What if I'm not a video gamer? Well, then I was also looking at some board game statistics, right? Here's a Ticket to Ride. Finally played Ticket to Ride for the first time just a couple months ago. But the board game market has about $3 billion in revenue in 2022, growing at 10% a year. U.S. is the world's largest market for board games, and most hobby board gamers are, you guessed it, 25 to 54 years old, right? So it's not a kid's thing anymore. It's something that we can all do together.
Well, what's interesting is like when you specifically talk about board games, I can think of 10 years ago, you did not have these pop-up bar/restaurants where where they've got thousands of board games on the wall. I don't know if it's everywhere, but I know there's a few here in the DC area and stuff. But yeah, it's cool. You go with your family, you get food, you get a drink or two, and you play board games going all the way back to like the 40s and 50s and stuff. So, but I don't remember that being a thing a decade ago, you know?
True. Yeah. Brother Kramer, what do you think what's the resurgence due to? Like, what's the cause of this being comfortable to have these gaming stores nowadays?
So I'm not an expert, but I think there's a couple. I think COVID is a big one. I think especially for like D&D and video games where you could play it remotely. I also think I wouldn't venture to guess how old you guys are. I'm in my 40s, and I was a big gaming nerd in when I was younger, and now I have the disposable money to throw behind it. You know,
I firmly believe that. Yeah. I would agree with you on that account.
Yeah,
it's that, you know, we grew up as gamers, and then now we've got time and money, so let's go continue to do that in a fun way.
And I'm not ashamed in any way. I want to go play as much D&D as I possibly can, just like I did when I was a freshman in high school. So let's go do it. And there are a lot of people out there that are doing it, and it's so popular. You have Critical Role on I don't even know what their platform is, Twitch or whatever.
Is it a Twitch? I think it's Twitch still.
Yeah. And I mean, they've got 2-point-something million viewers or something just watching them play D&D.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, to your point, COVID plus the internet allows this, I wouldn't say counterculture, but at least this culture to grow behind the scenes and for people to connect with other people with similar interests so that it just explodes overnight, and all of a sudden everybody's playing it, right? And you're like, oh, where did this come from? So, but again, seize that opportunity, use that as a way to fraternize and possibly bring in new members. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the mystery now is like, how do we keep it fun? So we want to create the connections between members, but we also want to do some actual games, right? So that's where I am now. And if I can shamelessly plug for those that are members or would like to become members of the Operative Gaming Society, which is free. It is basically a glorified Discord channel at this moment. But I'm looking for people who want to own whatever game they're playing. I want them to teach. If you're into fantasy football, come teach us how to play fantasy football, and then put together a league for OGS, and people will be into it. And or whatever you want to do. We're again, another shameless plug. We're doing a couple beginner D&D games. We have an in-person one. We're working on an online one. So somebody who's never played D&D before might be curious, might have a little disposable income like myself, and they want to get into it. And the learning curve on D&D is a little bit steep, and so we want to get them into it that way as well. So those some of the things that we're thinking about. So what I'm getting at is that we're looking for those leaders who have the games that they're passionate about and they want to drive them forward.
See, that's brilliant, by the way, is that it's not that Brother Kramer has to take care of all the nuances of pulling everybody together. It's like, hey, if you really love this game, come in, like lead the way. Like we're gonna give you the platform, but then get out of your way, because enough, there's and I also like the way you caveated it in the sense that it's like, even if you don't know how to, or you never played this game before,
Mhm.
you already have at least one person who's like 1 excited, 2 willing, and 3 able to teach, right?
Right.
Like holy smokes, that makes the barrier of entry for someone who's not familiar with the game or wants to try a new game or a new platform, a new system, a heck of a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
And I know there's games out there. I just was introduced to Zombicide recently, tabletop game, and I loved it. And like, now I'm like, oh, what else is out there? What else haven't I been playing? I want more. That sort of thing. Yeah.
See, now you got me all chasing squirrels here. I want to look at this Zombicide thing. Okay,
Zombicide,
interesting.
yeah. It might not be for everybody, but it certainly was fun when we did it. So, yeah.
Nice.
Well, while we're on that vein, Brother Joe, you said a couple of times this might not be for everybody. Are there any guardrails or rules that were set up when you guys were allowed to set up the club, quote unquote? Like, can't do this, can't do that, that kind of thing.
Yes, I'm sure there were. I'm blanking on those now. The way I pitched it to the Grandmaster, there were certain criteria. We wanted to keep it open for everybody. We want, obviously, if you join the Discord channel, there's some rules there that obviously we're going to be favorable toward Masonic bodies and speak well of the fraternity and stuff like that. So sort of common sense stuff.
I'm not going to join the Discord channel then.
Right.
Permaban.
Now we haven't had too many young people join that I'm aware of. So if we do start to see where maybe some of the youth groups are starting to organize events within the structure, then we're going to have to build some rules around how we interact with youth and stuff like that, of course. But so nothing too terribly crazy, I think. So yeah.
What was I'm curious a little bit about, you said you like kind of went up the chain to establish this. And I think there's an element of like, I guess, traditional thinking or conservative thinking in this way that sometimes leadership doesn't always see the value in something. Did you have any concerns going in, like asking about this? And the second half of that question is like, how was it? I mean, obviously they let you proceed, but I'm curious, like, did they have were they excited about it? Did they find it interesting? And have you had, and has anybody in those leadership roles like joined in? I'm just curious.
Yes, I have like three different answers for those questions. But yeah, so everybody has been sort of cautiously supportive and optimistic of it. I think some people aren't sure if it's going to go anywhere, and maybe it won't. But at least we tried, and I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's gonna find the footing. So we're still learning. So I'll give you a couple examples. So I had organizational meetings monthly when we first started. I had 5 of them, two sort of prelims and then 3 official meetings. And they were not popular. And people came to the meeting and like, all right, just tell me where to show up to play. And so one of the things we've learned is that we're not worrying about the organization. We're not trying to figure out who's president and who's secretary and who's all that. We're trying to figure out where can we go and play, and what games do we want to play. So that's sort of the first lesson we learned. And like one of the lessons we learned was that don't say come to such and such a place. We're going to figure out a game to play there. Like we're gonna say we're gonna play this game on this date. If you're interested, come and play. And if not, then come and hang out and you can play something else on the side. But we're gonna have a focus. So it's the whole thing's a learning process. So
that's really smart marketing, because it's like we're gonna be at this place at this time playing this game. Like you don't give people the anxiety, like what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna show up? What do I do with my hands? Right? You just like this is what we're doing at this time. And so it does take a little bit of pre-planning, but it certainly reduces, again, I'm always thinking from the outsider's point of view or the new player's perspective. like, what's that barrier of entry? They're like, I don't know. I'm not going to feel comfortable. What do I play? What if there's a game I don't like? You know, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that sort of choice paralysis. Yeah.
It was interesting. I was just gonna say, Joe, like about I don't know, 20 years ago, me and my friends used to play games all the time. Then after college, we all kind of right.
I know that story. Yeah.
And then all in a sudden, it was probably 8 months ago, random text from one of my best friends from school, Adam. Hey man, haven't been around for a while. Let's do lunch and then whatever. And so instead of going out for lunch, like they brought lunch over to our house and a backpack full of board games.
Nice.
And like, here's me. I'm like, I don't want to read instructions. And it was awesome because Adam knows how to play all these games. So he just like told me how to play and it's great. And you know what I did? Went on Amazon that same day and I bought like 3 of the games that they brought over. I was like, oh, gee, thanks for helping me spend my money.
Right. Yep.
Again, 10 of Pentacles. Thanks.
Yep.
But it's such a great way to connect, right? I find that the activity lodges really strive. Lodges that are the most successful have things that guys are doing together. You look at South Pasadena, they've got like, I mean, the lodge is huge, but they've got like probably 5 or 6 things that brothers are coming together to do. During COVID, they were doing things together. They were watching Game of Thrones parties together at the lodge. They do Super Bowl parties. Like, they're always doing it. And even if it's just 3 dudes, there's always somebody there. And this key to activity, like the bonding of this thing is so important. Like, you think about gaming, and for instance, there's a lot of similarities, I think, between the idea of gaming and what you're doing while you're gaming and ritual work.
Yeah.
It's that sense of that shared goal, that sense of purpose. I think you're right. You're right there. Like that, Freemasonry and gaming, they share a lot of those sentiments. Yeah.
Well, and I think you touched on this before, and I think it's important to state it again. Actually, is you're removing a lot of the minutia from the Masonic aspect of it. Like, you don't have a list of officers, and you don't have a slate of administrivia and all that extra garbage, which seems to weigh down a lot of stuff. Right? It's like, hey, we're just here for a purpose, and we're going to do that purpose, and we don't give a crap about the other stuff, and come what may. And it seems to be working.
Yeah. I think so, and I hope so. For sure. Yeah. I mean, at some point, I think we need to put some structure around it. We don't have any money, so there's not, that.
You got Grand Lodge money, man. Come on. They're going to make it rain. What is that per capita going to?
Yeah. Let's be real here. Let's just say this. You say you have no money. Let's flip the script. Okay. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
The second you get money, now you got responsibilities. So,
all true. All true.
Yeah. Maybe just trade Bitcoin.
Truly, yeah,
nice.
Exactly. So but Robert, you asked if we had Grand Lodge support. So I would say yes. I think the Grandmaster and the Deputy have been really supportive. Considering that we're in a little bit of an uncharted territory. We're by no means are we the first Masonic gaming club by any stretch of the imagination, but I think we're among the first that have that Grand Lodge backing, and awesome. That sort of official status. Yeah, official I use loosely, of course, but yes, but one of the things that I wanted to talk about is my dream, my project here. I want to have a D&D game at the Grand Lodge of Maryland. I want to put it in the Gothic room where the Templars meet, which is has just the best like D&D feel to it, and I'd like to get if I have my druthers, some cosplayers to act out some of the gameplay, and make it a big thing, and have a storyline that's Masonic themed, the Masons are the heroes, and they're trying to restore the light, and they're doing all this fun stuff. And I haven't worked out all the details yet, and I have a preliminary green light from the Grand Lodge conceptually, and so that's something that we're trying to put together in a really cool and fun way. So I think as far as Grand Lodge backing, that to me, the fact that they're even willing to listen to that sort of concept and entertain that concept, I think was pretty profound to me.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, right? Because you're taking something, again, that room is not going to be used every night of the week, right? So, right. I mean, yeah, it makes sense that would be a perfect setting for it, right? You go all in and do the whole theming, right? And just make it a great experience. We talked a few weeks ago about, a lodge meeting versus a lodge experience. Brothers are going to be walking away from that going, holy smokes, that was an amazing experience. Not just because of the brothers there, but because of the whole environment. So I think it's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, and we, of course, we want to film it and make a thing out of it, and so we're working on that as a concept, and so, but it just that the Grandmaster is entertaining these things is really cool to me. So that we're thinking outside of the box a little bit.
Well, and it's. I mean, you're lucky. There are some brothers that are listening tonight or are going to listen to the show that struggle with their grand jurisdictions, right? And it really depends on what state you're in, what year it is, because things flip-flop so much, right? There's not a lot of consistency when it comes to support for things. So, I mean, it's right place, right time. I would have them,
Yes, I think you're absolutely right. Yep.
All right, so yeah, let's talk about D&D, right? Because there's some guys that say our lodge bought a D&D set. This is from the chat, and was ramping up to play, but getting someone that wants to DM is difficult, and so the game lost steam, unfortunately. Yes. That is hard. The Dungeons and Dragons fun thing is getting its own resurgence. Full disclosure, that's my new hyper fixation right now.
So really quick.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about D&D other than D&D is Dungeons and Dragons, and Chris Pine was in a movie, and DM is Dungeon Master, and the DM is kind of like the guy who gives you a scenario that you
take it away, Joe.
How's that work?
The analogy I use that is not my own, I've heard it somewhere, is that there's one person involved. I prefer Game Master, but traditionally they're called Dungeon Master. But that person is the computer. So they are running the game and you're playing in their world. And in theory,
in the late 80s, early 90s, there was a cartoon that ran as a part of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show called Captain N and the Game Master.
Oh.
There you go.
It's the Game Master. Okay.
It's the Game Master.
I'm in now. Yep. I'm following.
You're old. Continue.
I am.
I just feel like Game Master is more descriptive. But yeah, so they're the computer. So I could as a player, I could go to the Game Master and say, all right, my character walks into the library and goes to the second shelf of books and picks off the third book on the shelf and opens it up and reads page 47. What does it say? And they're gonna need to say, oh, it's a recipe for muffins or something. They're creating that theater of the mind, that world, and D&D is played in it. Now that's a very unusual example, but usually it's more about they're providing monsters and we're gonna go fight the monsters, so. But it's really fun. It requires a lot of creativity, especially on the game master's part, and finding somebody who's willing to put the time in to do that, to make it a really quality event is hard. And that's
another good description I've heard of Dungeons and Dragons is it's like collaborative storytelling with rules, right? Yeah. So there's usually one game master who knows where all the monsters are but isn't going to tell you yet until you get to them. And so they're kind of like the narrator / like you said, I like computer is a good metaphor. but then the 4 players come up with their characters, come up with, their backstory, come up with their attributes, and then they get to say whatever they want their character to do. So it's just, it could be as simple as, hey, we're going to walk over to that bush over there, or it could be I'm going to turn myself into a bat and fly to Chicago. Like there's, and so as the computer, as the game master, you have to holy crap, you have to react to whatever crazy stuff that your players may come up with, because you can't control humans, right? So they're going to come up with some crazy stuff, and so the wilder the better. So that's what I love about it. It's a really good balance of pure creativity, but with rule sets and structure and math, right? So math rocks. You just throw math rocks and get.
Yes, there are dice involved, Robert. But yeah, I like that collaborative game. That collaborative storytelling, I think, is a great description.
So and that's a good. The reason that I think it's also interesting in the context of this show is that it is, if people have that experience to be the game master, it's very easy to help new players get started, get into a game. It doesn't require a lot of materials. Of course, people can go crazy and build sets and miniatures and all this stuff, but you don't need all that to get started. You have, and it's something that could be a one-shot thing, meaning, it's just a 1 to 2 hour game, or it could be something that goes on for till at least 2040, right? So
truly, yeah. And so if you, once, as OGS gets running, we're hoping that, I'm a game master, I don't have a party. Somebody else has a party, but not a game master, and we can link those folks up, and we can get something going. So that's the dream for sure. We have over 200 members, and by members I mean people on our mailing list, and they're all over the world. My target audience was Maryland Masons, and I ended up in a really cool way. We have, I think it's 37 states and 11 countries now are represented in that list, and it's just a really cool. Kind of a cool thing. So if you want to be a part of that, so maybe you're not going to find a DM that's next door, or in your town or something, but you can still link up with people that are doing really cool things in your game from all over the world. It's pretty cool.
Get them connected to your Gmail. Is that the right way to get them on the list?
Please, yes. freemasongamers@gmail.com, and then I can provide you the Discord links and all that from there. And please, it's free. It's low commitment, and we hope you jump in and play.
You have life membership dues, right? I mean, that way you could I could pay the $6,000 now, and then
do you get a dual? Is there a lapel pin or something that I can wear here? Or something.
Not yet. I do have a very cool logo. I think it's cool. A neat logo. I do have a T-shirt. I didn't bring them out. I went on Printify and created some custom T-shirts. There are 4 that exist in the world now, and I'm very proud of them. So I'm working on a logo. But again, we're broke, so we gotta figure that out.
Other question, Brother Joe. Do you guard the West Gate a little bit? And what I mean by that is, if you get an email from somebody with a AOL.com address or a GeoCities address or Hotmail, do you be like, nah,
bro?
Sorry,
right.
Grandpa.
That's right. We do not. And in fact, so it's an open club. It can be open for everyone. And one of the sort of challenges, if you will, we did not anticipate is I want to say there's at least one what we would consider in Maryland a clandestine Mason in that group. So how do we deal with that? But as of right now, we're not disclosing any Masonic secrets. We're not talking about. We're not.
If wife and kids are there, it's no different.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. At that point, if you're open, you're open. So if somebody's clandestine, it's no different than a profane.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So as far as I'm concerned, as long as everyone is respectful, everybody's welcome, and come, and we can have a good, healthy discussion, hopefully, about games and Masonry.
So here's a good example of one of your upcoming events. Got an open house Thursday, September 11th. There's the event, but you have classic card games, even just straight up poker and spades, right?
Yes.
You have Dungeons and Dragons, you have Ticket to Ride, you
Yeah.
have Uno, you have all these other things, right? So it's surely someone has played one of these games, right, to get started. So that's really good that you didn't just say we're just going to have just this one game that only 10% of the people have heard of, right? You've got the variety there. So it's a good, again, I love it. I think it's just a great idea to get people introduced to this.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we if I can plug it just for a second, Baltimore Forest number 45 invited us in. They're doing an open house, and learning about the tall cedars, and they invited us to sort of be the entertainment, if you will, for that event. And so my goal was we haven't really focused on classic card games like poker and stuff. Those things we're more into like sort of the pop culture games. But we said, well, let's have something for those folks that do like if they want to play poker. We'll set them up a table and they can play poker. But I sort of have 4 stations that are I think going to appeal to 4 different groups. The last one is actually a home brew, if you will. My wife and I are developing. We've never done it before. We're working on a rapid fire speed dating relay style games. It's going to be Uno, Shoots and Ladders, Trivial Pursuit, and Hungry Hippos. And it's going to be if we can get enough people, it's going to be four teams of 4, and they're going to move. They're going to have one player at each table from each team, and it's going to be like you're going to play one game for like 3 minutes and then go, and then move to the next table, and you're going to take over where the other person left off, and then go to the next table and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh!
I love the fact that you went with a couple of games like Shoots and Ladders, and then you throw in something as chaotic as Hungry Hippo.
Yes.
Like it's going to make for great icebreaker, great conversation. Yep. People are going to laugh.
You sunk my reverse card.
See, I was thinking the opposite. It's like Hungry Hippos, and then you have to think and play Trivial Pursuit. I'm like, you're gonna have a lot of angry little buckets of angry running around.
That is brilliant. I love it.
It may be a disaster, but one way or another, I think it's gonna be really fun. So
yeah, do they have to bring their own Old Bay? That's the other question.
I doubt
Maryland.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we have.
I gotta send Joe an Old Bay candle for the room.
Oh yes, yeah,
yes, exactly. For whenever you have your crab roasts, yeah,
that's right. We love our Old Bay. Yeah,
yes,
truly. So yeah,
awesome.
September 11th. Please, if you're in the Baltimore area, come on by. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be you're going to get a free dinner out of it, maybe even a couple beers and some really fun games. So please stop by. I appreciate you letting me plug that. So, yeah.
That's great. Just to kind of start to wrap things up. So again, we have video games covered as well. We didn't talk much about trying to find, gamers to play the different first-person shooters or whatever else there. So there's a community there. And in your Discord, it's nice because you have different channels for just board games or just tabletop games or just fantasy football. I'm glad you even brought that up. That is gaming, right?
Yeah,
that's Dungeons and Dragons for jocks. I love it.
Right.
So, how do you? So if you've never played a fantasy league before, good. Now you've got someone who's willing to help. So again, the beauty of it is when you hear the Operative Gaming Society, you hear this Masonic Gaming Club, right? You just want to default to, the generic term or just just the connotations that come with the word gaming, both positive and negative. And yet it's such a spectrum that everyone can get into. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And, what other people are into, I want to know about it. I want, convince me to play with you. And I'm open to that. And I think other people will be too. So, so yeah.
All right. So quick fire answer. This, I guess I'll open it up to the rest of you guys here too. This is not the final question, but it's just one that I thought would be fun to introduce. If you had to bring one board game to Lodge night, to get brothers engaged, playing something, get them to bring some levity or some high energy into the Lodge social experience, social hall, what game would you bring and why? And while you think about it, the one that came to mind for me as I was thinking about that was One Night Ultimate Werewolf. If you've not played that, it's a very quick 10-minute game. You can keep playing multiple rounds if you want, but the whole game takes 10 minutes, and it's a social deception game. If you ever played the game Mafia as a kid, it's very similar to that. You try to guess who the bad guys are, and it's this game full of lying and trying to figure out who's the good guys and who are the bad guys. So very fun, very high energy, a lot of good shouting and yelling. Hopefully you don't leave, injuring anyone or with losing a brother in the process, but it's a lot of fun.
I've heard about that one. Never played it, and it definitely sounds interesting. Yeah.
Yep.
I think I would have to go probably Cards Against Humanity. My board games aren't. I don't have a deep bench for board games, but yeah, I as long as it's all adults.
Yeah, I was gonna say it depends on who you're playing with.
Truly,
Joe, you'll be fine.
Yes.
How about you, Joe? Martinez.
Yeah. So, see, I was just thinking of board games I would love to dominate people on and make them sad at my lodge. So I was thinking like total awesome answer, Monopoly. Like
for lodge secretaries. Yes.
Right, but like Monopoly, but you're gonna get all the houses and all the hotels, and you're just gonna have angry people with like $6 left, and it's like, okay, yeah, you can leave, go have coffee, and we'll finish up the game. No, but no, a game to bring people together, and I would say Exploding Kittens. It's probably fun.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, and usually gets a lot of interaction.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Robert? Since you got this new collection of games that you spent all your 10 of Pentacles on.
Yeah. It's hard to say because I think there are some nostalgic games that bring out little kid in people, and there are some games that bring out just this competitive trash talking nature. Like if you're from my family, you stayed up late playing like quarters and trash talking and beating up your brother or whatever. Like that's how we did it.
Yeah. Back in my day.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd probably just play some classic cards, something like spades or something.
Yeah.
Right? Because I
Easy
think
peasy.
an element of teaching people something new is a wonderful experience for the teacher, right? So it's a great experience for them. It's also, the people you get to see somebody kind of learn something new if they've never played. Yeah, I think probably something classic like that, or even like Uno or something, right? Uno always seems to be one of those games that like, sorry, not sorry. Here's +4, and by the way, it's yellow, right? So.
We literally not 2 days ago. You just brought back a awesome memory. Not 2 days ago, my kids invited me to play Uno on our iPhones. So we're all in different rooms of the house.
They have a deck of cards for that, right?
Yeah, but we're all playing on our phones. So it's funny. Like we don't even have to talk to each other or be in the same room, and all 4 or 5 of us will be playing an Uno game on our iPhone. So.
Nice.
That's awesome. What a time to be alive. Yeah.
How about it? All right. Last question for you, Brother Creamer, is how would you like to see the Operative Gaming Society remembered in 18, 20 years from now?
Oh, wow. Geez. I'd like to see it still be a little bit not mainstream, if that makes sense. A little bit sort of still in behind the scenes, and it's like, oh, do you know about Operative Gaming Society? Come and play with us. And all right, yeah, and I'd love to see it go strong. Lots of players. If you're looking for a DM, there's enough people out there that you can find one. Through our channels and stuff like that. So yeah, just something that makes Masonry fun and gives a reason for people to join and for people to stay, and just brings out the best in Masons, I think.
That's beautiful. I love it. That's a great vision. So perfect.
Off the cuff. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Hey, write that down. That was good.
I know, right? Yeah.
All right, Robert, final thoughts.
Final thoughts are that you might hear Max bark outside of my door. But other than that, for a long time, I've had an interest in D&D. I watched friends of mine play D&D. I would go to D&D parties and just sit in the back, I was in the D&D cuck chair, right? Watching my friends play. And, I fell in love with watching these people like kind of act out the game and come closer and laugh at themselves and just really be free to do this thing that they were so enamored with and so into. And it was really cool to see them week after week play out this story. And it was cool. And then I went away from it from a long time. And I don't play D&D. I think it's a really cool game for those guys who are really into it. My gaming choice is, I'm a old school 8-bit, 16-bit side scroller, hacker slasher guy. And that's my thing.
Bring that to Lodge.
I mean, I should, right?
Plug right on in.
But I love this idea of the Operative Gaming Society, because one of the things that I think is so great is a lot of times the barrier to entrance on this stuff is not always just like, I don't know people. It's like also intimidating to learn something like D&D. Something Joe mentioned was, I hope it doesn't ever go like super mainstream. And, I don't know that you're ever going to have that problem, because D&D does require a sort of an amount of intelligence, and not everybody has that or the attention span to do that stuff. So I don't think it's ever going to go crazy mainstream, but you are always going to have intelligent, funny, creative people that are going to come to these kind of things. And I think that's amazing. And I just love the idea that you've created weird trigger term, a safe place for people like me to go, Joe, let's go step by step.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do next?
Oh, that's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not feel like a total idiot. So I think this is really awesome. And just like a Masonic Lodge, right? Like when you go in, you don't know your ritual or whatever, somebody helps you along the way. Nobody's ribbing you. I mean, maybe after the meeting they tell you whatever, and we all joke about it. But in the same way, it's just like, what other cool place could you be but around brothers to do this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So very cool, man. And maybe this is the next iteration. Everybody's always like, oh, the Masonic family, OES, DMLA, Job's, Rainbow. I mean, what if it's just gaming? So it's really cool.
And I think of it as I use the term like lodge agnostic and body agnostic. So I mean, if we can help recruit for DMLA and Jobies, then if we can facilitate something that gives them an edge, let's do that too. The star, everything. So
nice. All right,
work. Yeah.
Brother Martinez.
Sorry, had to find my mute button. This is awesome. Brother Joe, super love the enthusiasm. I love when people are enthusiastic, and wow, that wasn't even a word. Enthusiastic about.
You just ruarked out on that.
I totally had a ruark stroke. It was weird. Like, yeah, the word wasn't there, but no, super love that you're jazzed about this, and definitely got me excited on things that I had not thought about in a very long time. I'm super pumped to get into gaming again. I was definitely 15 or more years ago. I was definitely sitting in front of a CRT playing World of Warcraft, being a big smelly nerd until 4 o'clock in the morning and drinking Code Red. But I've grown past that, and I can't stay up that late. But no, you've definitely got me enthused for it. And I love that you use the umbrella of Masonry to bring all these disparate groups of people together and give them a home, basically. So I'm super jazzed. I'm trying to join your damn Discord, but I type slow. So hopefully I will see you around on the interwebs. But good job.
I appreciate that. That's some kind words, and I'm glad to have done that. Yeah.
All right, Brother Creamer, final thoughts, shameless plugs. Now's your chance to plug it all again.
Oh man, come join us. It's free. It's fun. It's find people that are playing your games. Bring your friends along. Have them come in. I do have 3 specific plugs. Tall Cedars that we talked about earlier. September 19th, in person in Baltimore. We have an online gaming event September 26th. It's a Friday. We're going to use Discord for communications, and we're going to use Board Game Arena, which is a free board game platform. And so we're going to sit on our couch, and we're going to have our fellowship, and right from our couch, and then we're going to do another in-person. I'm calling it D&D 101. It's a D&D for beginners at a coffee shop in Baltimore, and that's on October 11th, and that is something that I think is going to be really a lot of fun. So, and if you want to create an event, come take that leadership role. That's what we want.
Go for it.
Yeah,
it's there for the taking.
Right.
Super cool. Awesome. Yeah. Well, again, thank you again so much, Brother Creamer, for coming on, sharing your passion. And I think the way you set this up was very well done. Again, for the variety of reasons we talked about tonight. And so we certainly wish you the best for not only you and the Operative Gaming Society, right, but for what it does for the fraternity, what it does for brothers to brother, and what it does for years to come. So super exciting.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
All right. And as for me, final thoughts. Again, I could nerd out. There's lots of different games. Still learning about new ones today. So thank you for was it the Zombicide? I'm going to go look that up now. I appreciate that. But a lot of fun. What is Masonry but trying to level up, right? That's all we do. We get so many more levels, so many more degrees, so many more lapel pins, right? That's what we do anyway. We might as well actually codify that. So with that, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and keep searching for more light. Have a good night.